Song to write for the year 2001. Should I compose a nation building song or just place them politicians? But when I hear Pan they get 19 seats and he run and give a speech of victory, I tell myself something wrong, so I compose this song for kinky head people like me, because I don't understand what's really happening. For years, me Crooks and Panther was busting, we live a string. Where I honestly believe the message was loud and clear, but the results from the elections proved to me stick breaking black man air. We don't hear, so don't expect me to jam your prime minister. No, don't tell me I stopped drinking bush tea for your fever. No, don't tell me, cause you hate do it once but you did it twice. Elections fun is you choose Barabbas in front of Christ. So if you notice your little daughter bringing home a grand, because Kana sent she to a school inside the Beaton, and when she bring home the baby father, the man is a tyrant just like Panday. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I have nothing to say. My personal comments I will reserve. You get a government you deserve. So complain to me now, boy, you got some nerve. You get a government you deserve. In the day, see that line that hit in me. Try my best to put sense in black man head. The consequence I was not afraid. But when I see Keith and Daphne on TV, deep in my heart I felt betrayed. Cause I remember in 1998 I got chastised when I sing this song. But if I did like game, I would have take out she name and deceitfully win me crown. UNC corrupt like hell, but Satmaraj wouldn't say so. Black man open me mouth, he find that man in should go. To these negative response from the black man, I'm not surprised, because I've come to one conclusion: to the black man is his own demise. He ain't wise, so don't tell me nothing about the EBC. No, don't tell me, because I saw some of you vote for UNC. I said no. Don't tell me that they cancel the URP and that you can't get work to maintain your family. So if you end up just as a criminal on the run, because all the promises that they make, they ain't keeping none, and civil servants can't get it back pay, plus yourself can't get a 10 days. Please don't stop me in the road to complain, cause I wouldn't be amazed. My little knowledge now I must preserve. You get a government to deserve. To resort to protest now, you got some nerve. You get a government to deserve. Ding ding ding, ding 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 ding, and you got to live with it for the next 5 years. It's from the public I get my lyrics. You just give me inspiration. You just give me the strength and courage to slaughter them politicians. But when I see you supporting Panday and condoning all that is wrong, it's like giving me bread and a full glass of milk, then you turn round and kick it down. And they call businessmen parasitic oligarchies. But today just wanna and do crazy good buddies.
Good night to you, Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Once again, it is time for Talking Points. My name is Sheldon Scott. I will be here with you not until the 10 o'clock hour, but until at least 9:30. Yeah, not promising. We're not going to go up until the 10 o'clock hour tonight. Yeah. We're going to be finishing slightly earlier tonight. Yeah. Circumstances beyond my control. You know, once it is within my control, I'll stay up until 10. So we do apologize, but we'll only be able to stay up until 9:30.
But if you notice, Carlos have a brand new Beamer, and he delayed the process till he turn a minister. And you hear he get millions in cutbacks from the Miss Universe show as a gift. Please don't stop me and ask me to confirm, because I'm pleading the fifth.
You may see me stretching every now and again. For some reason, our WhatsApp machine has decided to go on the blink tonight once again. It was giving that problem Monday and Tuesday, and it is doing it again tonight. It was okay on Wednesday. Yeah, Tuesday night we got it to work eventually, but for some reason it just keeps cutting off right now, so I can't take the WhatsApp calls. I can take the direct calls, but it doesn't seem as though I'll try to get it to work. Yeah, sometimes in the night I have to play technician as well as do the show. Huh? So saying a special good night to each and every one of you. Let me say a special good night to the children first of all. Azela, good night to you. Zalia, good night to Xavier. Sorry, good night to you. Xavier, right? Xavier. Let me say it proper. Xavier, good night to you. Zoe, I haven't seen Zoe for a while. Zoe, good night to you.
I didn't believe.
Good night to you, Deshaun.
Easily, I would like to know what's the price they pay for chips.
Good night, Neela and Namara.
In my humble.
Good night to all the listeners who are joining us on the Facebook. Folks, remember to like and share the live. And as I always say, it helps to spread it to a wider audience. Not just this program, but the old programs as well. It helps to spread them to a wider audience when you like and share. So it's always important to like and share the programs.
Don't tell me nothing about being black conscious.
For instance, if you've got, let's say, 3,000 people on your Facebook profile, and you share, the likelihood of those 3,000 people seeing the program is on, or even after the program seeing it and being able to go and look there, is very high. So it's important to like and share. Nice. And on YouTube, the more you go on YouTube and you like the program, YouTube puts it in front of more people. Yeah, it puts it in front of many, many more people. So much more people can view the program. And let's see if we can get the likes on the YouTube up to 200 tonight. Yeah, let's see if we can get it up to 200. Here I go trying to restart the machine again for the WhatsApp calls. Let me see if I can get it to work this time. Fingers crossed. Special good night to my Canada squad. Special good night to my US squad. So yeah, whichever part of the United States you are, we want to say a special good night to you. All the listeners listening via 94.9 We Noise Radio, we say a good night to each and every one of you, the We Noise family.
Sing how people could change. I say, little shock, I can't understand. I am so disappointed in man. Man make me cry, tears run from my eye. And all I could ask is what's the reason why? Was man fighting power, he fighting greed. Oh God, man making blunders for selfish need. Man gon' call your brother, but man so slack. Say man with a dagger stabbing your back.
I'm mesmerized, shocked and still in dismay. Look how they treat me in the folk fair the other day. Chucky was thunder, Chucky was tough. Chucky was power, Chucky was rough. All politicians respected this Calypsonian, who always seemed to look out for the poor man. But since Daphne Philip brainwashed the brother and make Chucky director of culture, since he get big position, he start acting strange. It's amazing how people could change. As they get in power, their plans rearrange. It's amazing how people could change. You're bound to agree. It's lies we're running this whole country. Look at Chucky boil right down like Baji. Lies we're running this whole country.
Yeah, we bound to agree. Lies are running this whole country, you know. We've proven it over and over and over here. In fact, if we have a lie meter right now, I think the lie meter would have blown with the amount of lies that we have been hearing over the past, how much days now? Let me check the amount of days. You know, I like to be sure on my amount of days. The last 651 days. Yeah, the last 651 days, or the last 21 months and 11 days. The amount of lie that we get in that space of time. If we're trying to check, you understand? It started with the about the phone call from Dr. Mitchell and so on. In other words, within just a few hours of winning, that particular lie started. We ain't even talking about the lies on the campaign, but that particular lie started at that point in time, right? Then you had the, you remember the Polish man? Yeah, it had the Polish man. The Polish man that was supposed to have given money here, there, and all sorts of things. And he said, well, okay, if you saying something illegal happened there, present the cabinet conclusion, which shows what you're saying, because you said there's a cabinet conclusion that says that. So present the cabinet conclusion. And up to this day, we've never heard another word about it. Yeah? And there are so many other lies that have been told during that period of time. Remember, the Prime Minister and the Minister of Foreign Affairs sat right in front of the entire nation on live television, live internet feed and everything, and said that the Samoa Agreement was not signed and that the technocrats, etc., would have to look through it, and so before Grenada signs anything. And at the time they're saying that, the ink was already on the paper, it was signed. And up to this point in time, we haven't heard them call back the ambassador. The ambassador was not reprimanded for signing the Samoa Agreement. We didn't see that he has been replaced or anything like that. So it's obvious that he did that based on orders. Whether it was orders from the Prime Minister directly or from his line minister. Well, in this case, you have line minister, L-I-N-E, and you have lying minister, L-Y-I-N-G. So we don't know, because up to this point in time, he hasn't been fired or so. He is still there. So it doesn't seem as though he did it on his own, because if he did it on his own, we definitely would have expected that by this point in time, some sort of corrective measures would have been taken place, yeah? 440-7377. That's a 440-7377. That is the number for you to call and get on the inside. We have got the WhatsApp up and working, well, at least for now. So the WhatsApp number is up and working as well. 347-329-3101. What other lies? Yeah, what other lies? In fact, I consider the activity that was held a few weeks ago, when they went, just about 2 weeks ago, when they went up in Corinth and they invited everybody, saying handing over ceremony. And we were waiting to see what was being handed over, because as we've proven here, since 2022, the houses were handed over. The ribbon was already cut, so there was no need to cut ribbon there again, because the ribbon they cut already. The keys were already handed over, so the Chinese did not hand over the keys already. The keys were in the hands of the government of Grenada since 2022. And they did not hand over any keys. And let me just make that clear, because I think some people, up to today, someone was telling me that the people got their keys for the current housing project. That is not true. Yeah? Let's just make that absolutely clear. The people who are supposed to move into Corinth have not yet received their keys. Yeah? They're going to rush. They're going to try to get in a couple of them. They're going to bring the camera and say, look, the first one we handing over. They're going to try that. Now that we've exposed that. But just note, on that day, nobody received keys to enter the current housing scheme. And I think it shouldn't be a case where it's me alone calling. But I think all of us have to call on the Housing Authority of Grenada to give an update. And don't come and say you're coming back to us with any information. They're supposed to come out and be able to give a clear explanation as to what is taking place. Because as far as we know, the only housing scheme that has anyone living in it is up in St. Patrick, and only because the fire victims needed a place to stay and were temporarily located in one or two of the units. I'm not too sure on the full amount of how many units they were given. Yeah? But they were allowed to stay in some of the units there. So let's just be clear on that. Because again, met somebody today and they were telling me, oh, Sheldon, the people get the keys for the place and thing. You didn't see one of the people. The people did not get keys for the place. They did not. Yeah? And as I mentioned, the fire victims and so, let me just let you all see these. Let me see if I can bring it up bigger. You know, I like you all to see the things properly. All right, yeah. So let me see if I can bring this up for you all to see. The New National Party has been assisting the fire victims in Chantemel. And these are some of the things that were handed over today to the fire victims up there in did I say River Sally a while ago? Chantemel. I think I said River Sally more than once, you know. If I did, I humbly apologize. River Sally, I love River Sally so much. Right? So the folks up there in Chantemel, right? They got some of these items today. You see there the Honorable Kate Skeeter Lois Peters together with Mr. Jelani Glean. We have a call online. Good night.
Good night, Mr. Scott.
Hey, good night, sir.
You have to make them know that it's two places that will be handing over keys, eh?
Mm-hmm.
The institution and housing authority. So when they come in, they have to come good. They have to come good. They can't come and say, well, they hand over key. I can't come and hand over key to you. And it did not come to me to get loan. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
If you come with your money, it's housing authority. If you go to institution, bank or credit union. So tell them,
okay,
we're looking at everything.
All right.
Okay.
No problem. What I would say though is this, from what I'm picking up, the arrangement will be that you get the loan from the financial institution, but the financial institution is not placing the money at any point in your hands. The money is going to be placed in the money is going to be placed directly to the housing authority. All right? Yeah, it's going to be placed directly to the housing authority. So understand that the money is going to go direct to the housing authority, and then the housing authority, once they've completed the process, and that is why I myself have been going over, on the recommendation of a very good friend of mine, I have been going over the Condominium Act itself, which also led me to understand certain things. For one, where the government is giving the impression that they're going to be upkeeping the houses and all that kind of thing, they're not just upkeeping the houses because they want to be nice to people. Within the Condominium Act, they have a responsibility to do certain things. And they're coming out and speak of the things that they legally have to do under the Condominium Act. They're coming out and speak about that as though they're doing that to be helpful or because they like people and so on. So one night soon, we will go over the Condominium Act. But just to go back to the handover today, these are some of the items that were handed over today. All right, yeah, some of the bed linen and so on, and clothing and food stuff and so on. that has been handed over. I know the people and them there. Let me just make sure you know that's Dr. the Honorable Clarice Modest in the back there, and that is soon to be doctor, but for right now, just the Honorable Emlyn. I didn't know she's doing her doctorate. Yes, she's doing her doctorate. The Honorable Emlyn Pear, right? You remember certain people say they don't know how some people does study and do all this kind of thing. Well, this lady here, this one here, this lady here, she study, get her first degree, get a bachelor's, get her master's, and is doing her doctorate, and she do all of that while still running a constituency, successfully running different ministries, and also successfully running and winning again her constituency. All right? Yes, so Dr. Modest there, and our good friend Bello, who was on with us just recently. Yes, so you see them there. They've been doing that today. I believe they did the handover. I know they were putting things together, but I believe they did the handover of those items today. So just some of the photos of some of the items that they handed over to the fire victims, and they're still working to get some other stuff together for the people, because basically you lost everything, eh? And that is definitely not an easy thing for anybody to go through. They lost everything. So this is being done to assist the fire victims up there in Chantimel, right? I know why River Sally keep coming. Good night, Candy. My daughter, that keep coming in my mind there. Good night, Candy. So that is why. All right, and then I think they have Saraka tomorrow. Yeah, Saraka, Salaka, whichever way you want to pronounce it. They've got that there tomorrow. All right, yeah, so just some of the photos of some of the items. Yeah, you see the girl, little computer and thing, two different things, you know, just to try and assist as much as possible people who are in need. All right. So folks, yeah, so I just decided I would show you that as well, as it came across my news feed a little earlier. But outside of that, folks, yeah, we need to remember that this government has been lying and continues to lie. And they continue to be exposed as saying one thing when they were in opposition and a total other something now that they're in government. They might change. When the New National Party was telling them certain things, and if you try to do this, you're going to end up in problem, and if you try to do that, you're going to end up in problem, they didn't want to listen. But now they are recognizing and realizing that the things that were being said by the New National Party was not just saying things for saying things' sake, but it was reality. And we still await, because as I've said on this program before, and I'll say again, in 2022, you had students leaving the school system. Understand what is happening there? So you have young people at the age of 18 and so leaving the school system and looking for employment. And there is no program similar to what the New National Party had with the Imani. There is no program. They bad talk the Imani, they say all kind of thing. But they have not been able to either improve the Imani program or to replace it. And we're speaking now going very, very soon on 2 years. It took the New National Party, I usually say 6 months, but it was actually 3 months to reinstitute the Imani program, and to get, in the first instance was 1,000 or 2,000, and then to go and get some other young people involved. Till after a year, I think we had over 4,000 young people involved in that program. This government, zero. Zero. Not one. NNP, within 3 months, 2,000 young people properly occupied. NDC, in 21 months, zero. No new programs. Nothing to engage the young minds out there. They went on the campaign trail and they lie. And you and I understand what it is like to be a teenager and to be in your 20s and so on. Yeah? And some of the young people, they look and they say, oh, the man look nice and this kind of thing, and they vote for him for that. And now they are recognizing the error of their ways. So all the young people that leave school in 2022, they didn't create any opportunities for them in 2023. And who will soon be leaving in just a couple months again, because we are already in April. April, May, June. That's it. That's it. After June, you're hearing graduation. By the middle of June, you start to hear graduation ceremonies. They're out of the school system. And nothing has been done to provide opportunities, training opportunities for those young people. You go through the newspapers, you go through on social media, and you see all of those opportunities that are being offered. And you recognize that they say 2 years experience in the field, 1 year experience in the field, X amount of years experience in the field. That's what you hear. And that is why the Imani program was there, so that the person would be able to say, yes, I've got 1 year, 2 years experience in this field. I've worked at this location. So it improved their resume. But we allow. So I'm taking blame too, although I was never one of the people that used the Imani as a derogatory term. We allowed people who had nothing better to offer to come and bad talk a program that was actually doing good for thousands of young people in this country. Some of us allowed people to use Imani as a derogatory term. And every time I heard it, I cringe. Every time I heard somebody use Imani as a derogatory term, because I understand the psychology they were playing. They were trying to make it derogatory, make people don't want to be part of that program. Yeah? But you know which government and which political party on this island can successfully implement programs for the development of young people. The other side, they could successfully implement lies. That is all they could implement. And here's what is happening. After 651 days, the afterglow from the new National Party is wearing off now. So man start to see who is man and who is mice. The money that the new National Party left in the treasury, and they say NNP was stupid to lead that money there, and where they lead the money there for, and they could have do this and they could have do that. That money started to run out already. If it ain't gone already. Because you're hearing now of lots of people that have not been paid. Various categories of people, some fully within the public service and others who have not yet been paid. And the minister could blame the overworked accounting officers in the different ministries and departments as much as he wants. And then you hear they coming out and they're saying, well, cash flow is not the problem. They have money. All those things, we played it for you. Oh, it's not a cash flow problem. We don't have a cash flow problem. So they don't have a cash flow problem. Why are people not being paid? All you had the money. Once you're saying you don't have a cash flow problem, all you have the money. So why are these people not being paid? But you have these situations taking place. And many other lies. Remember, the Maboya Road was supposed to be finished in January, you know. Yeah, that's what we were told. In fact, first we were saying, early up last year, we were hearing that it was supposed to finish around, and I really need to go back and pull all of them, because we had so much change at dates and time with this thing. Early up last year, if I remember correctly, it was supposed to finish before Carnival last year. Then it went down to September, October or somewhere there. Then it went down to Christmas. Then around Christmas time, we hear January. And now you know what we're hearing? We're hearing after Carnival this year, down in September, somewhere there. That's what we're hearing. But you know what they're going to do? They're going to close Parliament in August, as Parliament is usually closed in August anyway. They're going to close it then without that, and they're going to take some time until about October before they reopen Parliament, where questions could be asked about what is taking place with the project. And then they still say, well, oh, we're giving the contractors until December. Don't blame the contractors. You all messed around with what was the original plan. Just blame that. Be truthful. That's why I theme tonight is lies that run in the whole country, because it's lies. Remember, early up they were speaking about teaching children to do coding and all this sort of thing. And I was so excited because I believe that would have been a good move. You realize they stop talk about that now. They have nothing to say about coding in the schools and the importance of coding and so on. And for those of you that may not know what coding is, it involves computers and learning the language of how to write apps and how to program computers and different things like that. And they were supposed to be doing robotics and things. Only today, I recognize something. I don't know the last time I've heard of a science fair. I don't know if schools still have science fair. Anybody that heard of one could message me. But I don't know the last time I heard of a school's, yeah? I don't know the last time I heard of a school's science fair. I really don't know. But that used to be something in the 1990s, in the early 2000s. You used to hear a school have a science fair and the children got the opportunity to design different things or put together different things. Maybe I'm out of touch, I don't know. But anyway, I see a partner of mine send a 2 picture there for me. Well, if they say the road finishing this year, brother, let me see. Because the people on the West Coast, the people of Happy Hill, Molyneux, Happy Hill, all the people that live further up, Brizan, Beaujeu, right? All the people that live in St. John, St. Mark, St. Patrick that have to utilize that particular road, it is causing a hindrance to those individuals that they have to pass through Mount Moritz. As beautiful as Mount Moritz is, and as wonderful as the people of Mount Moritz are, you all know I love you up in Mount Moritz, as wonderful as the people in Mount Moritz are, and as beautiful as Mount Moritz is, people don't want to have to make the extra long drive. They would like to be able to pass through. And one caller earlier this week was mentioning the issue of the Maboya Road, which is something that was dealt with at a specific level before. And there were plans to commence work on the Maboya Road as part of the Western Main Road project that this administration lose. They lost the project. If it was the New National Party, would have never lose the project. That Western Main Road project would have been going on right now had the New National Party remained in office. And that included doing the work, the remedial work on Maboya. For those of you that may not be familiar with where Maboya is, we're speaking about the area that had the landslip there just before you enter Guelph. I haven't been up for a while, so I'm not sure if people are back to passing up Mount Granby side there, or if they're going through there still. But that was part of the Western Main Road project. The Honorable Alvin Dabrio, he had leveled out the area and thing. They did some work every now and again. They used to do some work there to make it a bit motorable so vehicles could pass there instead of having to go up and come around. Right? So that was part of the Western Main Road project. But when you go and you don't know what you're doing, and you send Tweedledee and Tweedledum to go and speak to the British government at a point in time that the British government was trying to keep their money at home. That's what they were trying to do, keep their money at home. And you send two people that don't understand diplomacy, that have never negotiated at that level, it's obvious you're going to lose the project. And then, they didn't lose the project, the water project. They didn't lose it, but they know they could fool some people, so they come out and say that they lose it. They come out and say that they lose it, and then they come back and say, well, due to the wonderful work of the Prime Minister, they retained it. I want them to show one of these days. Bring the documents in Parliament. Bring it in a political meeting. Put it in George Worm, whatever you must call it. Put it somewhere. Let people see the document that says that you all lost that project. As far as I'm concerned, all you lie. All you real lie. They didn't lose no water project. They told that to the Grenadian people to make something look as a victory. But remember, after 651 days, the projects that the New National Party left going on, most of those projects either finished or nearing completion. The others that were supposed to start, you see they go and they cut ribbon yesterday to start. No, they turned the sod to start the work in Pearls on the secondary school there. All of that work for that was done under the new National Party. So another NNP project that has started and is progressing there. So just now they're running out and people will see who is man and who is mouse because they had to show what they have conceptualized and come with. What is taking place with the Seon Cultural Center? Yeah, what is taking place with it? The project was started, so what is taking place with the Seon Cultural Center? I haven't been up on that side for a while. Somebody from up there could probably tell me what is taking place with it. So what is going on with the Seon Cultural Center? Again, lies. And then every time they caught with one of these things on them, they come and they try to blame the NNP. They come and try and blame the NNP. The NNP is this and the NNP that and the NNP, the NNP, the NNP. Yeah? They always being caught lying or twisting them out. Remember, they're not supposed to have a problem finding money. People will not be paid late. Tell that to the people waiting on the salary still. Today is the 4th of the 4th. Tell that to the people that waiting for the salary still. Tell that to them. Tell the people who applied for the low-income houses how the low-income houses have now turned into condominiums. Explain that to people. How the low-income houses have now turned from low-income houses to condominiums. Yeah? How that has happened. So time is running out on them. And they are worried. So expect certain things, you know. Expect them to start to attack people more vicious. Expect it. Look out for it. It coming. Expect them to attack people more vicious and to use any means. Any means. Whether it's me, whether it's they decide that they want to go after Jenny. And if you didn't look at Jenny's program today, remember, today was Thursday. Simon Says was on today. Make sure that you take the time and you look at Simon Says if you have not seen it yet. I started seeing it and then I had a mistake home and I shut off. You know when you go to pull one plug and you pull the wrong plug and turn off my computer. Yeah. So Simon Says make sure that you look at Simon Says. I'm going to make sure that when I get home, I'm going to look at the second part that I missed. She was speaking about Carriacou and I was into that part and I didn't get the last. I like to get Jenny's program. I know a lot of the ladies like to watch Jenny because they want to see what she's wearing this week. They know it's a woman that she could real dress her, so they like to see what she's wearing. So folks, make sure, and also you remember tomorrow morning, yeah, it's the extension. Andre Donald, Master Carl, you have Mr. Pierre, and so on. So the extension is on Real 91.9, 91.5 tomorrow. Make sure you take in that one as well. But anyway, back to this. Everything with these people is lie. Do you all know? They're talking national security. Yeah? And while they're talking national security, police can't get proper shoes to wear. Let me repeat. Police cannot get proper. We were here before, you know. We were in that situation before. Between 2008 and 2013. Police officers, were you all not in that situation during that period of time? At that time, they had to get a set of shoes from the Catholic Church. Some shiny, cripsy shoes. They end up having to get from the Catholic Church to give the Royal Grenada Police Force because the government at the time just ignored the police force. As soon as the NNP came in, it was the new National Party that had to go. I remember Dr. Mitchell having the meeting with the police officers and telling them that, hey, we realize that you all have a problem when it comes to things like vehicle and so. And we are going to deal with that issue. And then he got a lot of vehicles for the police. And then afterwards, of course, the Chinese donated some stuff. But he made sure that he got enough vehicles for the Royal Grenada Police Force. But now what happening? You see they buying anything for them? So right now here's some construction boots. Yeah, I hear it's construction boots. Somebody's telling me that Jenny's program went off. Let me see. I'm not sure what took place there. It may have been a power outage or something on her end, but I'm pretty sure if you go back, the entire program should be there and you should be able to see it. So if you go back afterwards, you should be able to see the entire program, because I see about 2 or 3 people saying that the program, that it went off. All right, folks, yes, and remember, I see a good friend of mine, they're reminding people, like the live. Make sure you like the live. We're up to 112. Let's see if we can get it up to 200 tonight. Yeah? Let's see if we can get it up to 200 tonight. And folks, before I go on to another issue, I was listening in and between, I was listening to the Parliament sitting today. And a very interesting point was raised in relation to the gun amnesty. Very interesting point. I think it was Senator Cox that raised that issue. And the issue that he raised was, okay, so you have a gun amnesty. You're saying to people out there who are now criminally, illegally in possession of a firearm, that they have to bring that firearm into you, the Royal Grenada Police Force. They will say where they are collecting it. So it wouldn't be a case that I don't think it may be a case that you just walk into any location and bring it in. They may say at specific police stations or wherever that you can bring in your firearm there. So they are going to say that. And one of the points that were made today, and it is one that I honestly didn't think of before today myself, was if a firearm has been used in a crime. So in other words, a guy walks in, let's say he walks into the police station and he gives up a handgun. And then they find out that that handgun was stolen in Monjaloo 2 years ago. Are they saying that they are not going to charge the guy for having stolen goods? Because remember, the amnesty is on the firearm. It is not in relation to any crime that was committed with the firearm. So, is it going to be a case that the person brings in the firearm and then there's a crime connected to that firearm, and you're going to then charge the person who has brought in the firearm, or you are not going to charge? Because suppose the firearm was used in a murder. We had several shootings last year. We've had shootings the year before. So what happens if an individual, and let's just take this call, I'll come back to that one. Hello, good evening.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, good night, Sheldon.
Hi, good night.
Long Island.
Long
We
Island.
were talking about Jenny a while ago.
Yeah.
And I realized that it cut off, and then it just said private, and I find that was really weird. So when you're trying to go back on it, it's not showing. And I'm sure a lot of people may realize that something wasn't right, like it cut off or something like that. So I don't know if you could find out what happened to her program.
Yeah, I'll try to find out from, I think I know the technical person. So let me find out from them what took place, because that's kind of strange.
Yeah, it just cut off, and then when I tried to go back on it, it's in private, and then afterwards, I'm not seeing it, today's program on it.
Yeah, because as I'm speaking to you, I'm checking myself and I'm realizing the same thing. I'm not seeing today's program. But I'm pretty sure she's very savvy. I'm pretty sure she'll put out a message on her Facebook page and let us know what has happened. So that it's probably just a technical glitch somewhere. So she'll probably put it out.
Sorry for interrupting, but you wouldn't believe when it cut off, she was talking about Ron Redhead, and it just like...
And I could imagine his pressure she giving Ron. Oh, God, Jenny, do easy.
So So can you find out, because we couldn't finish watching, so can you find out what happened, please?
Okay, I'm pretty sure she'll put out something on on social media. So I'll check her Facebook page. It isn't there yet. Nothing is there yet, but I'm pretty sure she'll put out something. So thank you so very much, Long Island.
Okay, thank you.
All right, my dear.
Bye-bye.
Yes, indeed. And some people are saying that they got the whole program. Some people didn't get it. So there may have been some sort of technical glitch. I think I understand what may have happened there. So I would say check back by later tonight or tomorrow. It should be up. Yeah, I think I understand what took place there. And let's hope it's nobody trying to shut her up. Yeah, especially with cut off when she put in licks on run. Jenny Mount don't good. I can imagine what she say. But anyway, folks, yeah, I was making the point about the firearm amnesty. So let me ask this. Suppose I find a firearm. Let's say I'm going somewhere and I find a firearm. And using the amnesty now, I decide I'm bringing the firearm in. I bring the firearm in, and after they do the ballistic tests on the firearm, it is found that that firearm was used in the murder of somebody. You're telling me that due to the amnesty, the police would not be checking back with me now because I was the one that bring the gun in. They're not going to ask any questions. They're just going to say amnesty is amnesty. No, the amnesty is on the firearm, not on crimes committed with the firearm. And in the underworld, you have trading of firearm taking place. You had to be in town. You had to be around to know what's taking place. You have trading of firearms. So it may have, and definitely it will have, firearms on island that may have been used to commit murder. And you're telling people bring it in when they bring it in. Because the person who bringing it in may not even know that that one was used to kill that person or to shoot at that person and so on. They may not even know. They may have bought it from somebody who did buy it from somebody who did buy it from somebody else. So, however they got it in their hands, and they bring that in. So how is the amnesty going to address that particular issue? Are you going to say we're going to forget the fact that that gun was used in a murder? Think about it. You're telling people bringing these things that are already illegal, that may be connected to illegal acts that they don't even know about, may not know about. I don't think a man that used a gun to kill somebody going to come and bring it in amnesty. If he had to get rid of it, he could just throw it. But I don't see that he's going to bring it in an amnesty. And then the suggestion was made not just by Senator Cox, but the suggestion was also made by other individuals. Yeah, I think Senator Rahman also made that suggestion. The suggestion was made to do a buyback program. We've heard Nimrod Oliver on this program speak about that. To do a buyback program when it comes to firearms. Right? So people, but then the government's response, and I didn't put the clips together because I was out of it today. The government's response was that if you start to buy the firearms from them, they could just take the money and go and buy an next firearm. Then what's the sense for them giving up in the first place? If it's money they needed, it wouldn't be to go and buy an next firearm. So they're going to bring in a firearm. They say, okay, X amount for handguns, this amount for rifles, this amount for shotguns, submachine guns are this. If you bring in ammunition, this is the amount that we're going to pay you for it. Explosive material is Grenada, it might still have things from during the revolution period. Yeah, you bring in an anti-tank rocket, we're going to give you X amount for it and whatever. Right? So you scale what you're going to pay and so. So we're not saying, and again, let's make it clear, no one here is saying that we don't want the amnesty to work. I hope it works. If one gun comes off the street, then that's one gun less that the police and everybody else have to worry about, because everybody going to have to worry about that. Yeah? because they may not be aiming at you, but a bullet don't have any guidance system. A bullet don't operate with GPS. When he going so, he going so, and anything or anyone in that direction is what it's going to pick up with. Ain't going and turn corner and say, well, it's not here I was going for, and go wrong. No. Whoever is in that direction is going to go for them. So to get one off the street, I find is a good thing. If you at least get one off the street. But we are saying that they should not just stick, because if the person who advising you is the former police commissioner, that person is a waste of time. You should be fired or have enough respect to resign and go away. Yeah, it's either he resign and go away or he should be fired. Total, absolute, unequivocal failure. Should go. If that is the person that advising you, listen to what some other people are saying. That it should not just be an amnesty for 90 days and then you say, well, yeah, you think the people who are the firearms now don't know that it is illegal? You think it makes much of a difference to them if they're going to spend 15 years in jail or 30 years in jail? Jail is jail. They know. And some of them telling you straight, they ain't afraid inside there. They just only say that. When they reach inside, they're crying like baby. Take what I'm telling you. Nobody up in Richmond Hill Prison want to stay in Richmond Hill Prison. They just say that when they're outside to try and scare people. When they reach up there, they're crying like little baby. Yeah? And some fellas listening up there tonight, good night to the guys up on the lockup. Yeah? Just remember when they up there's a bucket there to use. There's no toilet and thing. The bucket there to use. Either use the bucket in the morning, the bucket had to stay there with them until, if they use it in the evening, tonight now, it had to stay until in the morning, eh? Yeah. Them little plastic bucket they had to use and thing up there. So, nobody that there want to stay there. So, different approaches must be used. And then, we've said it here before, the approach of, we are just going to deal with the firearms is one thing. You're going in the school system, you're not finding firearms, you're finding knives. You're finding knives, you're finding cutlasses, you're finding people just shaping pieces of metal and so as stabbers, all different sort of thing. And they're bringing it in the schools. And if you think your child's school is not one, let us search on Monday morning and you will find out differently. It is happening in the schools, and every time they ask these young people, or they interact with them and they ask them, well, why are you doing that? Why are you walking with that? I walk with that for them boy and them. Well, who boy and them? Them fellas only interfering with me. But that tells you that you have a bigger problem than them coming in the school with the weapon. It tells you that there is a problem with their thinking. That they believe the way to deal with that issue is to either put down the person that interfering with them, as in, I kill that person, damage that person, or at least to threaten that person that they're going to do it. So that is a mindset that needs to be addressed. Because whether it's that they have a gun or a cutlass, telling you in the south of the island, there's a location when you go there, is all you're seeing is that gun. Some have long sleeve, some have short sleeve. But you're going through a particular area, you realize about 6 fellas. Has the Ministry of Youth been in that area to interact? We ain't saying we're blaming the Ministry of Youth for it. We're saying it is a responsibility of the Ministry of Youth to go in that area and deal with the thing. Deal with it. Come up with a program and go in the area. And address it, because you realize there is a problem in that area. A serious problem in that area. Not one, several problems. Did they interact with the Royal Grenada Police Force, who always in and out of that area? Did they interact with them? Speak with them and say, okay, we're coming up with a program that we're going to implement in that area. Nothing like that. They can't even see the MP, they say. They can't even see the MP. And me just talking, I'm talking because I know what has to be done, and I am willing to help to get it done. So me just saying things. But again, when you're dealing with a government that is built on lies. It is built on lies. All you could call, tell me some of the lies. Me know nothing about contracts being given from my parliamentary office. Enron read that? All you could call and tell me some of the lies. He didn't know nothing about contracts being given through the parliamentary office and the Prime Minister sit down next to him. I didn't know nothing about that. Yeah? And the same Ron Redhead, the person who was talking about he going to study at the beginning of May and then tell you that the studies was going well. When the 4th of May didn't reach yet, you know. But the studies are going well. Yeah? So he didn't start the studies, but the studies going well. Lie again. I didn't say big dogs. I said big boys. But the recording is there. Yeah? And from big dogs, I think we reached the what now? Commoners? Yeah, we are now commoners. From big dogs, we are now commoners. We want to hear about big dogs and commoners. Come and tell us what you're doing for the people of St. John. That's what we want you to come and say. Come and say all them trip, you're always out, you're here, there, everywhere, bouncing around. I'm sure they had to change passport for that minister already. I positive that minister probably used every page in that passport already. They had to get a next one for them. But show us the benefits to Grenada. When Mr. Simon Steele, Senator the Honorable Simon Steele, when he was our person on climate change and climate resilience and he went out there, when Simon come back, Sayo making sure he come back here, we have a 5 million for that project, we have a 10 million for that project. Some of the same money they're trying to use right now to do things and try and take claim for it. Folks, would you believe that within, good night, Shemi. Would you believe that within the last week or so, there was a story online about the repairs that are being done to the cricket stadium? And you had some people who obviously don't know what they're talking about under there, talking all sorts of nonsense about this was an initiative of the NDC. And this have nothing to do with the new National Party. And so, I'll come back to that. Let me go to the phone lines. Hello, good night.
Good night, Mr. Sheldon Scott.
Good night, lady with the Tambran ball.
All the Tambran ball down here, you can get brown sugar. I don't know where brown sugar could get at 2 pounds.
But can you see the Tambran ball? They were not pass this evening, all done. Oh.
The Tambran ball done, but we don't have brown sugar. I go find out if I could get some tomorrow, please, Lord.
All right.
I want to say good night to all the Grenadians, home and abroad. Good night. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go right ahead.
Sheldon? Flanka lady who listening tonight, good night. Yeah, Flanka, you know who he is. Good night.
Go on, Kami. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, what I have to say is, you say tonight they talk about the lies. Some of the lies is they will make all your people with contract permanent, and a lot of people will get permanent. They say they're going to remove the in Grenville with the seaweed what has come in Suez. They will get people to think to get it, but they just still come up. That is another lie again. Why again? And a lot of other things.
Yes,
they will do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You go ahead.
The Prime Minister said, but something again, he had something what they, when in Grenada with the man with the money and he have the thing when he just come in office. I can't use the word. I can't use the word. But I think you know what I'm talking about. Up to now he can't show us nothing about that. That is another lie. That is another lie. So I don't know. All I'm saying is a lot of us is struggling out here. And I have a message for the Grenadians that is living abroad in England and in Canada and America. Mm-hmm. Most of you all, as Grenadians, give up all your birthright. All you give up all your Grenada citizenship and take American, Canada, and England. So you all have no right to speak about us in Grenada right now. All you swear to be American. So leave us in with business. All you have no right to say nothing about Grenada. A lot of us as Grenadians is very hypocrite and bad mind. And when I speak on any program, some of you don't want to hear my voice. Even NNC supporters, they don't want to hear my voice. Because a lot of them vote for NDC. They vote for NDC. And right now they're struggling. They're shame to even come around their own party. You know, Sheldon Scott, you know what hurting me? I was an NDC supporter, you know. I was an NDC supporter. You hear Mr. Scott? And one day Peter David sent a man to pick me up, to bring me in Parkleet. That time I don't know nothing, he went and joined NNP. And when I start to go around NNP supporters, they used to throw a lot of word for me. And these are people that Dr. Mitchell had give big jobs in Grenada. No, you don't see them. You don't see them in nothing NNP have. Nothing you see them in NNP. They don't come in and support the party now. They hang on to NDC. If tomorrow morning the table turn, they come back. They're not supposed to wait to let Dick Mitchell as the NDC Prime Minister to know that you as a Grenadian supporting NNP, you have to be ashamed. You have to be scared. You yourself you're working in the office. You stand for something and you have to stand up. Them NDC and them are afraid to talk, you know. Some NNP people are saying nothing. They're shame because they vote for that. What's going on in Grenada now? Sheldon, you only begging for them. Out of beg. You begging. You giving them advice. You have to put, use the NNP. Because NDC alone could not have run for an election. They have to get somebody to challenge them. So you have to shame. A lot of them, Dr. Mitchell give a lot of them in this country good jobs. And it's them that bring down the party. Because Dick Mitchell come, and Dick Mitchell tell all you, he go give all you this, he go give all you that, and are you going to turn?
Total lie.
Are you going to vote for them? It's like you have a man giving you $50 every week. A man come out in America for 2 days, he come to play carnival, he spend $1,000 on you for one night. How do you get what you want to go on? How do you get what you want to go back in America? And the man that gives you $50 in the day, and you make a big mistake, you sorry, you lose your man. Half a love is better than none. Half a love better than none. And you know, I just sorry, Mr. Scott, I am not sorry for what is going on. Because we can have them where you want them. You have them where you want. Yes. I just sorry for them. Because even some of the Imanis, they know where they was. They know the struggle. They know the problem they had home. And they get them in the Imani. And they was getting good health. So even when NDC come and they campaigning and they telling them what they're going to make them, you know the struggle. You know what you're getting. They had no right to go and vote for NDC. All you that bring that problem and all you take it. Take it. I just sorry for them, Papa God hear me. I'm not going through me, you know, I buy a tardy the vlog one thing, a tardy the jasin. I sit down on the terminal today, I say, lad, I feel like I eat a little crayfish or shrimps. I give a friend of mine, I say, go and buy a little packet of shrimps for me, I go cook a little rice. Six shrimps, Sheldon, 6 for $30-something. You know? Mm-hmm. That is to tell you what we going through in Grenada. when they import certain things. It's hard. But I ban my belly and I miss my party in line.
Mm-hmm.
I miss me NNP party because I know if Dr. Mitchell was in power, all Grenadians, NNP, NDC, Jerry Wright, they would have get a little fortnight. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
They would have get a little fortnight and they would have get their money. Nobody not to cry out. They would have get their money. All over me little money tell me, I go and push me card in the thing and the thing take the card and he got no money there. Where the money there? Where is there? I tell you, they make a mistake. They have to buy their finger. I don't sorry for them. Only little children. When children lose their money and they pass, I give them something. Not them hard back leave that make decision and put it to Michelle Lee. And put all these people and them are the inside it. They don't care about poor people. Are you sorry now? Are you have to take all you get? Look at what they're doing. Look at the Queen's Park. They're having a big show this weekend, Mr. Scott. Don't give me a little time. They're having a big show coming up. I watch a clip on one of the radio and the television where they fix the track, where they're running. No, I don't go and have show there to mash it up. And taxpayers again, when they go have sports, they have to pay to fix that. Aaron Moses and them is wicked people. All you have to stand up and tell the Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, let them make that show somewhere else. We just can't set our money for the track. So we can't afford that. Poor people again have to pay for that when the time is right. That's the advantage. I work for $10 and I get every time. $10 in tongue from a lady name is gonna chatter. $10. No, are you getting $1,000? And you don't have no medication in the health center. We should be getting free medication as people that retire. Have a good night, Grenada. Or you could say, all you want, I don't pray that. Don't sorry, Walio.
All right, Gabby.
I miss my party. God hear me.
You have
a good night.
All right, my dear. Just one correction. The folks who are in the U.S., I don't think they have to give up because I know many people that have the U.S. citizenship, but they never gave up their Grenada citizenship. As far as I know, I still see them with the Grenadian passport and everything. They have the Grenadian passport, they have the U.S. passport. When they come in Grenada, they use the Grenadian passport when they're landing. When they're going back, they use the U.S. passport when they're landing over there. So, and I'm only saying it because somebody messaged me when they heard that said, just to correct that, no, they don't have to give up the citizenship. Yeah? And, 440-7377. Let me apologize to those of you that were trying to get us, and I just made a mistake with the local line too, that were trying to get us on the overseas line, and I mistakenly had it engaged, so you can call now. All right? Yeah. 440-7377. That's 440-7377. And again, remember the lies in relation to medication? Because up to now, they're still telling us that it have medication, you know. They're still telling us that it have medication. Yeah? It have medication. What do you mean it have... When people go to the medical facilities, they're finding out differently. We have a call online. Good night.
Hey, Sheldon, how you doing, brother?
Hey, I'm quite fine. You go right ahead. You're live.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yes.
I have two questions. The first question is, what specifically does the government have in terms of project going forward? Any things in the pipeline that the Grenadian public should have known about?
Well, there are several things taking place on island, but nothing that has been started or conceptualized by this administration. Things that, for instance, the building of the Grenada Christian Academy School in Pearls, that is a holdover from the New National Party.
Yes.
The water project that is going to address water down to the south of the island, another location, I think it's G Cruise or what they call it, right? That again from the New National Party.
But have
the
they come up with any new project of their own? That's what I'm talking about.
The Live project and the Send Home project. That is two I could talk about. Oh, and the Increase Their Salary project.
And the second question is, what is the status of the budget for the independent?
Well, again, my friend, last week we did a bit on that. And, I'm glad you asked that because it was wrong of me not to revisit that particular issue. In that the minister, when he was in Parliament last week, was making the statement that it's 22.5 million that was spent. The budget, in the budget speech, they were saying 15 million in one place and 14 million in the next place. Yeah? So it just isn't adding up.
That's a big difference in terms of the figures, though, no?
Yeah, it's not adding up. It's definitely not adding up. What was said in the budget speech, as in what was said by the minister when he was presenting the budget, that is totally different from what is actually in the budget document, the 400 plus page document. That is different to what is in there. And both of them are different to what he is saying now.
So is there any plans to hold him accountable? Because he has to give a report as to how the money is being spent.
Well, that question has been asked by Dr. the Right Honorable Keith Mitchell in Parliament. He did ask for a kind of rollout, as in who are the people that were contract.
Calling them out.
Yeah. But that is a very strange one, in that your budget speech, you're saying 15 million, but 7 and 7.5 does not add up to 15 million, in it. It's 14.5.
Right.
Unless I don't understand maths, I don't know. Maybe I.
Well, you got to keep calling them out as much as possible until they come with the right figure.
Yeah. Because they said 7.5 for between August and December last year. 7.5. Then, out of that, they did not utilize a good portion of that. I think they spent 6 million something, but they didn't. There's a large portion of it that was not utilized. Then, they said 7 million for the year 2024. That is what was said in the speech. 7 million for the year 2024. And if it's 7 million and 7.5, then that's 14.5. How we reach the 22.5 million?
Yeah, that math is very fuzzy. That's fuzzy math.
Yeah, that math say mathsin.
Yeah.
That math say mathsin.
Anyway, my brother, keep up the good work.
All right. Thank you so very much, my brother.
All right.
All right. Yeah, that math say mathsin. And folks, remember, I will have to leave at 9:30. But tomorrow night, it's going to be a full 2 hours. I will be having a guest on with me to speak and so on. Okay, I know that guest. Can I go call after? Can I going to call when I talk to that guest tomorrow night? I want to talk to that guest about different things, all right? Nice. Yeah, but that particular question that the caller asked in relation to the figures there, for those of you that may have missed that program last week, yeah, the figures, not figures in. Yeah, the maths just isn't adding up, right? So when you hear they said $7.5 million, that was in August of last year, 7.5 million up until the 31st of December 2023. That is when the cutoff date for that money was. And out of that 7.5 million, I think roughly about 2 million went towards the creation of the banknote. That is the $50 banknote that we see they show and say that is what the banknote looking as, but it seems as though the banknote go come out sometime around the same time that they celebrate in 2 years. Don't think them thing happening just so. Yes, it takes a while to print and a time to do this and that, but they're timing things for political expediency. So they're timing it for June, I think they said it will be coming out. So that is when we'll be seeing the $50 banknote. For those that want to buy it, I realize a lot of people holding on to the $2 notes that the ECCB put out for their anniversary. I see a lot of people holding on to the $2 note, and some people say, but me spending that, yeah. And then we're seeing now that the $50 note is supposed to come out. I would have thought that the $50 note would have been out during the independence. Yeah. And then they said that they've been managing the money and all that sort of thing. But if they're managing the money, I'm trying to figure out within my head how, by my addition, what is 14.5 million ended up being 22.5 million. I'm trying to understand that. We go to the phone lines. Hello, good evening.
Hey, good night, Brother Sheldon.
Good night. Go right ahead.
Yeah, Brother Sheldon, someone want to find out that they try to apply on the seed, for the seed. And they was told by somebody who working there that they won't be able to qualify. So the person said they outline the situation with them. They were 65 years, and then they have the problem with this again, as they have problem with the food, the problem with the hand, and thing with they can they're moving about, but not as who they should move about. Right? So what they were saying, they want to know if they qualify, as the person said, they don't qualify. Right? If they could take their mother to take seat to court. They want to find out if they could take them to court.
If they could take the seed program to court, I do not believe so.
Okay, all right. Yes, Brother Sheldon, what I want to also say again, to me, I ask, why the government lying so? Why are they lying so? Why do they speak clean and speak truth to the Grenadian people? Is lying to the Grenadian people, is that immoral? Is this immorality? And the Prime Minister said morality is private, and immorality. Morality is private and immorality is public. So it comes out like if morality is public, that's why they lie so. Because immorality it should be private and morality should be public. But they change it around. So Brother Sheldon, when you look at what the government different time they call governance, it's a set of lies. What example are you leaders setting for the young people? The young people looking at you as example to lead them and to lead them and guide them to what is right. And when you as leaders lying for the young people, lying for the people going to compete, how could they have trust in you? Everybody lying. The Prime Minister lying and say he will bring a net to think the seaweed on the beach up north that they can reach yet. In Prime Minister talking about permanent up north, permanent can see contract work is illegal, Brother Sheldon. And the same contract work that is illegal, he said under NMP, the same contract work now become legal. That's a set of lie. Right? So we call upon the government to do better. We want the government to succeed. But you cannot be succeed when you're lying and deceiving people. You have to come and speak it to the people. Let people know what's going on. Although we know already what is going on. So I consider the government a government that we're going in history, Brother Sheldon, as the government that lied the most. We say we have a president in America, Donald Trump, who lied to get governance. And like we have a Donald Trump in Grenada here, the Prime Minister, who continue to lie and lie. You feel like when they lie, they glorify themselves in lying. And when they lie, they still believe they stand for integrity. But I wanted to know, integrity is when to have integrity, you must stand for what is honest and what is true and what is right. So what I shouldn't have about this night.
All right, thank you. 4407377, that's the number for you to call and get on the inside. You've got roughly about 13 minutes. Remember, I am ending tonight at 9:30. I will not be able to go up until 10 o'clock tonight. We've got to stop at 9:30 tonight. So if you got a call, you got a call now. We got a call online. Good night.
Good night, Senator Scott. Good night. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, well, I'm just listening. Out here in the diaspora to all the chaos what's going on. You know, because some of the ministers is not happy. You understand? Well, that's what we got out here. Some of the ministers is not happy. You understand what I mean? Because the Prime Minister, he hijacked the party. So we don't know if that is an NDC party or not. Or if it's just Dick Mitchell government. You know? You're not allowing the ministers, you know, to come out and speak. You know, no air to the journalists. And they're confused. It's just a matter of time, Sheldon, before things explode. He already looking for his new government for the next election. And some of them is not on board. You understand? So too much is going on. When see every living thing, the Prime Minister want to be the number one person how to speak. What that tell you? Dictatorship. He don't give his ministers and them air. You have 2 or 3 of them who could speak. The others, no. Don't you notice in the Senate, they are more comfortable speaking to each other, the opposition and members of the government? I don't know if you look at that, Sheldon, but look in the lower house. It's not the same. Something is wrong. And I hope Grenadians is paying attention. Every living thing, Deacon Mitchell have to be there. You understand? It's either he or nobody. You understand? And who towing the line? He and the finance minister. You understand me? And maybe 1 or 2. But if you look at it, you see even the Claudette, all of them, taking a back seat. Something is wrong. And it's just a matter of time before this thing explodes. It's just a matter of time, Senator Scott. Who have eyes will see and who have ears will hear. This country is not Deacon Mitchell country. We give him a job. And he have to do the job and report to us what is going on. But it seems that Deacon Mitchell think that he born in Saudi Arabia or he born in Dubai, and he just paying us a visit. You understand? So it's time for Deacon Mitchell to step up and come to the Grenadian people clean and tell them his intention. You have a good one, Senator Scott.
All right, thank you. Yes, indeed, folks. We have roughly about 10 minutes remaining. On tonight's program. Yeah, about 10 minutes we have remaining on tonight's program. So let's go back to the phone lines. Oh boy, no, I lost that one. Yes, folks, 440-7377 and 347-329-3101. Those are the numbers for you to call and get on to the program. Nice. And I'm saying this again. This government, they got in on lies. Let us help them go out with the same set of lies that they got in with. Yeah? They're going to make everybody permanent by the drop of a pen. They're going to make everybody permanent within the first year. They're going to make everybody permanent. Well, how much people permanent now? And they're trying to give the impression of certain things. One, they're trying to give the impression that it is only the NDC government that has been regularizing teachers and regularizing nurses. That is not true. Under the new National Party and under Honorable Emlyn Pear as the Minister of Education, if I could remember correctly, the last figure I had when I was following it closely was 400. That's teachers who were temporary and were regularized. They were made permanent during the period of the NNP, not the period of the NDC. You had several nurses. I don't have the figures for the nurses, but you had several nurses that were made permanent during the period of the new National Party. That was then the Honorable Nicholas Steele was the Minister of Health. And you had several nurses that were made permanent, and they were preparing to make another batch of nurses permanent again within the service. So don't let them give you the impression that it's them that making people permanent now and people wasn't making, the NNP wasn't making any attempt to make people permanent. It is the same way that they have bamboozled a significant portion of the population into believing that they did something special by paying the pension. There was a court judgment. Let me repeat that again. Maybe you all ain't hearing down in the back of the class. There was a court judgment in place in relation to the payment of the pension. The new National Party administration started the process of paying the pension. So whether it was the NNP or the NDC in office at that point in time, pension had to pay. So they didn't do nothing special. Don't let them pat themselves on the back like they did something for Grenadians. They're too wicked We have a caller online. Good night. Hello.
Good night to you, Sheldon.
Hi, good night, my dear. You go right ahead.
Right. Yes, I just call in. I support that last caller because this is something I'm always saying, that these people and them is just a matter of time, because I realize they're not, they don't have no unity among themselves, because you can see, I'm not in Grenada, but I mean, I just look at things,
Mm-hmm.
and I always say it will start from in there, because they will start to beat up on one another in there, because this one go blame this one, and this one going to say it's not me, and this one go says you.
It's already going on.
It's
already going on.
Yes, I said this is how they're going to mash up. It's just a matter of time. It's just the shame that they don't want to give up. But it's just a matter of time for them, because you cannot be lying. You lie to get in today, and you continue with the lies. And it's like some of the Grenadian people is like they're still fooled, they're still blind, that they cannot see what these people and them is doing to the country. So I just pray God that it end up in a good way. They just walk out, and there is no sort of things, because they need to go. They need to go. They are doing nothing for the country. And I just be looking at all different things, and they just tell me, oh, you're not in Grenada and your own. No, because I seen and I listening. But it's just a matter of time for them. They have to beat up on themselves, beat up on one another inside the deacon and his team. Because they lie to get in there, they lie to the people, and the people take it. And now a lot of them regret it. A lot of them regret it now, but it's too late. But I just hope that God will open the eyes of all those that are still blind to see what these people are doing to our country, because it's our country. Mm-hmm. You see what happened in St. Lucia? They sell the beach for some white people, and nobody couldn't go on the beach. I don't know if you saw that, Sheldon.
Yeah, somebody sent that to me today.
Mm-hmm. Yes, the people, they said it's beach, and they said the beach is ours and we can bed anytime. So Deacon and them had to understand Grenada does not belong to them. It's not an NDC Grenada. Okay? So it's just a matter of time for them. So have a blessed night, and you get home safe.
Thank you so very much.
In the house.
All right.
Good night to everyone.
Aruba.
All right.
All right, my dear. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, I like to say it on the Venezuela. Aruba. Yes, indeed, folks. Yeah, we only have just about 4 minutes if we take a call, or it has to be a quick one that we could take now. But we have to understand, these are the people who said they're building 500 houses. That's what I was telling us, They're building 500 houses in a year. Every year they're going to be building 500 houses. Well, they're closing in on 200, on 2 years, sorry, not 200, 2 years with no houses in that project, eh? Don't try to count the apartments NNP built. It's NNP that caused them to be built and made sure that they were built. And you all that kind of shutting down anymore that we had to get right now. So they're trying to give the impression that they're responsible for paying pension. They had to pay it. They had no choice. They was doing like if the NNP could not have paid it or would not have paid it. The NNP could not have said they're not paying it. You had a court judgment in place. The last thing they should be able to do, and we must not allow them to do it, anytime they say it, shut them up. Tell them plain up, there was a court judgment, or you had to pay it. If NNP was there, they had to pay it. If by some miracle there was another party that came about and the party had win, they had to pay it. They didn't have a choice. So they didn't pay it out of the goodness of their heart. They didn't pay it because they like people. They didn't pay it because they promised on the election campaign. Of course they could have promised on the election campaign, because they know that whoever formed the government had to pay it. Their intention is what, when the New National Party win and they paid, they would have come and say, we that caused them to pay it, because we say we that paid it on the campaign and we get NNP frightened and they go and pay it. No, there was a court judgment in relation to it that bound the government of Grenada in relation to paying the pension. Deacon Mitchell and the NDC and do nothing special by paying the pension. And there are some other area around the place talking about, we pay the pension. And of course, NNP didn't pay the pension. There was not in place to pay the pension at that point in time. They were putting things in place to ensure that the pension was paid by a particular time. And at least when they paid, they would not overpay. Like how the NDC administration overpaid some people and had to ask them to bring back the money. Say a lie. Well, if you don't know names of people that had to bring back money, or if you don't know amounts that had to come back, say a lie. Challenge me. That they overpaid some people because these people were paid in the tranches that went before, because this was also not the first time that NNP was paid, that pension was paid. NNP paid pension to X amount, I think it was 61 workers before. So let them continue to what have they achieved in all this space of time outside of trying to terrorize? Or they can't terrorize me because me afraid them. Me afraid them. So they can't terrorize me. Yeah? Anytime they want to come, come. Yeah? Anytime they want to come, come. They can't terrorize me. So me ain't studying that. So forget me. I'm the least of the apostles. But what have they achieved? What have they achieved in that space of time that people could watch and say, okay, NDC, that is something. What have they achieved in that space of time? And when you look, all you could say is absolutely nothing. Yeah? Not a project they could point to. Hotel opening in St. David had nothing to do with NDC. Yes, your Minister of Tourism went and hide. Your Minister of Tourism went and hide when a facility that will be hiring 700 Grenadians into the tourism sector, your minister jumped the boat and go up Carriacou and hide. He didn't need to go for the opening of the festival. He could have sent the parliamentary secretary who was there anyhow. He could have let him attend and make sure that he go when the Maroon Festival itself is taking place, that he is there. But he shame because he know what he say about the 6 Cents project, so he had to hide. He had to hide. But folks, don't watch it so, you know. He go find himself inside there very soon. He go inside there still and drink champagne. Yeah? And try and eat finger food. He ain't doing it on the camera and them day. But he have no principles. So he go make sure he go there still. Remember, it's the same man who was saying all kind of thing about CBI, and then we hear what he say afterwards. But folks, as I said, I got to leave right now. That's all the time we have for Talking Points tonight. It's been wonderful being here with you. In everything you say and do it safe and secure. I want to be speaking to and with you and not about you. I'm Sheldon Scott, and I am out of here. Yeah, let me see if I could play this one as I go in, man.
There was a time not long ago when it was safe to chastise your government. The opposition leader shared the respect of the Prime Minister and President. Now we have a tyrannical democracy where misplaced priority creates abject poverty. To oppose government policy is living dangerously. So now truth is a sin, and lies and deception are the virtues now trending. If I say the government in my land don't care for the local man, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say my green Dominica has been bequeathed to Red China, I'm a wanted man. Simple truth. If I say Parliament has become a comedy competition, I'm a wanted man. Wanted for speaking truth, wanted for caring about the youth, wanted for wanting fairness in my land. So I'd much rather be a wanted man than to be a yes man. To a godless, corrupt politician.